friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots.
It's hard.
So that's why the line was tied up. It's Keegan McEnroe's fault, and I'll carry that to the grave.
Because we thought that he had signed off. We thought he had hung up.
Oh, Matthew was there. That's right.
Yeah, we thought he had hung up, but then like 30 minutes go by, and suddenly we hear this blinker going.
Blinker, and I'm going,
and we're like,
what is that noise?
And Keegan's like, yeah, I'm still here.
Keegan.
More information about all of our sponsors can be found at the end of this episode, along with events that we have coming up. Real quick, this episode is sponsored by Body Machine Fitness, located at 2300 West 7th Street. They offer a truly one-of-a-kind fitness experience. Your first class has already been paid for. Go to www.bodymachinefitness.com to schedule your first high-energy cardio strength group fitness class with best-in-industry trainers, cutting-edge audio and lighting systems. Show up early or stay after the class for the infrared sauna and nutritious snacks in the lobby. That's just a brief description. We have more information about them at the end of the show. This episode does come with an explicit warning. There's a lot of adult language in this one. Sometimes I censor these episodes a little bit because it's just a few little F-bombs here and there. But this one really went off the rails. And we have one more episode that I'm going to release for you. After this one, it'll be part 5. It will be the final addition to the Psychedelic Panther Festival coverage. And what you'll find is myself and the guest really started to enjoy ourselves. And just like last year whenever we did the Psychedelic Panther Festival over at Main at Southside, one of the biggest highlights of the entire evening is seeing Ah Pook The Destroyer. This is a band that operates completely over the internet. The band is separated by oceans and a lot of distance, but they managed to create wonderful, excellent, very unique music by collaborating through the internet. And just before we sat down to do this recording, they went on stage and played for the second time ever on stage together in one place. So this is a very special opportunity. I hope we get to see these guys back out on stage next year at Psychedelic Panther Year 3. That's enough talking out of me. Thank y'all for being here. Please give it up for my friend Matthew and Paul from Ah Pook The Destroyer. Let's start the show. So 1 year ago today,
It was, in fact.
we sat down from the man from Siberia.
It was not
Serbia.
I'd said that on the mic because of you, so, you know.
I thought you were making a joke because I had fucked up and said that.
That's exactly what I did.
So, and I don't know, she sounded like maybe she was from, at one time, Russia.
No, she was definitely Russian.
Okay, so she comes over here and she's like talking just bullshit, and I was like, oh shit, okay, so are y'all here to see like a particular band? No, we're just here to see the music. Okay, cool. So the next band that's coming up is Ah Pook The Destroyer. It's the first band that's going to play tonight, and one of the gentlemen that showed up tonight is from Siberia.
Well, we were setting up,
And
and all of a
she's
sudden
like,
someone's like,
"Really?"
Paul, some woman outside's asking for you. I'm like, who that? And I walk out. I've never seen her before in your life, and she's like, "Oh, I hear you are from Siberia." And I'm like, "Fuck!" Because I've had this happen before. Serbia, Siberia.
It's so close. How would anybody from Texas ever know the difference?
I mean, there's like 2,000 miles of like. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
you're from
Not Texas. You're from not Texas.
It's like telling someone from New York they're from San Francisco.
Sure, I know.
Like there's a
Dude,
huge gap.
I was really embarrassed. I'm so sorry.
I found
I'm
it
so
quite
sorry.
amusing myself.
So anyway, so after I figured out how bad I fucked up.
Well, no, the funny thing is that after I told her that, it's like we had nothing to talk about.
Right.
So
right.
she would just awkwardly smile, and then we like shake hands, and then off she goes, and that's that. I'm like, what the heck was this?
So I had a full conversation with her. So she's like, so he is from Siberia. I'm like, no, he's from here, but he moved there.
Right.
Like every other detail I got correct.
Yeah.
So so she goes on her merry way, and then Matthew finds me at the bar, and I'm like, Did I ask you, or how did that?
I brought it up because I suspected it was probably
you knew it was me. Okay,
I had a feeling.
Yeah, he ratted you out first. I'm like, I don't know how this happened. And Matthew's like, it was that Andrew guy.
I was pretty sure it's Andrew.
No, he brought it up, and I ratted on myself. I was like, no, I think probably that's my fault that she did that. Anyway, so then after it's all been squared away, everybody's good. I come walking out with my drink, watch you guys play your first set, and that woman turns around and she looks at me.
Oh my god!
And I'm like,
you lying sack of shit.
As soon as our eyes met, and I just talked to Matthew, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, I know, okay. And so I walked. I didn't avoid it. I walked right up to her, and I went, I know, and I'm sorry. And she was just like, okay, as long as you know. She just wanted to make sure I fucking knew, and I'm like, I know, I'm sorry.
That actually helps me that there was resolution to that. Yeah, she didn't just walk off pissed off.
Hey, man.
You fuckers. Yeah.
All right. So last year, we're sitting here talking, and you literally had a fucking taco in your hand.
That's right.
Did I?
You remember that?
Well, last year, I ate tacos for 10 days straight.
That's right.
So I'm a little surprised. I haven't seen a taco in your hand once.
No, I've had a couple tacos.
I haven't seen it.
I have a thing about it. When I go home after rehearsal, I get myself velvet tacos.
Velvet?
Yeah, well, because for a couple days, I would get them like Uber Eats delivered, except apparently... I'm going to be really insulting now, and I'm going to try hard not to be.
Go for it.
Dude, what's wrong with your Uber Eats drivers here? None of them go to the right street. I don't know if Google Maps is sending them somewhere else, and every time, because I don't send them to the apartment, I come out for them. I'm like, go to this address on the corner. I will come outside and wait for you outside. And every time I do, and every time they don't even come close.
Huh.
And then they're like, where are you? And I'm like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at this address. The address it's this whole thing. I got so tired that now I just have them drop me off at Velvet Tacos and I walk home.
There you go.
Because it's a problem. But he's also been over there by Salsa Limon, and I've picked him up there several times.
That's for early dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, early dinners at Salsa Limon. Late night eats are because Velvet Tacos open late.
Yeah. But the deal with Salsa Limon is they have the pickled cabbage, and pickled cabbage is a thing that they do in Siberia.
Serbia. He's from Serbia.
I mean, we do have the pickled cabbage. That is a thing, like a kupus. You know what I'm saying? Moj čovjek. Kupus.
You speak the language?
Oh, he speaks the language.
No. I really don't.
You speak a better language.
I can throw out some words that those listening, if they're in the know, would understand. But in actual Serbia, I'm the village idiot.
So you can find the bathroom. You can order another beer.
Yeah, exactly. Which is all I really need to do.
You can speak about as much as that as I can of Spanish.
I can pee. I can order pickled cabbage. If I have a heavy night of drinking, nothing like pickled cabbage to like.
I honestly do not know how to say pickled cabbage in Spanish. So.
We don't have tacos, but
I don't know.
we got pickled cabbage.
Donde está la
pickled cabbage? Let's be as American as possible. Yeah. I thought actually, I don't know what it was that I did wrong. I went to Mexico to get some dental work done a few years ago.
Nice.
And I'm in.
Did that turn out well?
It actually did fine. But I'm in Ojinaga, which is this little border town, and I went into the damned, the grocery store, and I needed to use the bathroom, and so I said, "Donde está los baños?" And the lady just stared at me. Like, ¿qué? Wait. I said, ¿Dónde están los baños? Huh? I'm like, I thought that was the thing. Like, I know in Texas, if I said that, like, people knew what I was talking about.
Oh, is that not correct?
I don't know if maybe in Mexico proper, maybe that's the wrong.
Well, okay. So here's the confusing thing about Spanish.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will act like you're not saying anything they understand.
Well, and it may be that
just
my
to be
accent was
dick.
terrible.
Well, your accent is terrible.
It is
sure.
pretty awful. Yeah,
like mine.
No matter where I go in the world, I say toilet. And toilet works. Everyone gets toilet.
The French would definitely understand, right?
I should hope so.
The French are the most likely to understand and just pretend they don't. No offense, but
I shit understand. I shit understand.
The fucking French.
Toilet.
Damn frogs.
Yeah,
Right?
no.
That's how they say.
I'm being an irritant. No, I've been watching Blackadder too much. That's what my problem is. But yeah. No,
But I'm pretty sure no matter what dialect of Mexican you speak, or Espanol,
Big round of applause.
Baños is universal.
That's what I thought.
Right?
and I think it might have just been my delivery of it was crappy.
So then you just start edging it down, right?
Yeah.
Necesita baños.
Just whip it out and start like. I mean, she'll point you somewhere.
If I just do this, you know.
Start unzipping, just right there, like one gear at a time.
Yeah.
Click, click, click. Whip it out and take a cup, and then trust me, they'll point you to where you need to go.
Yeah,
probably. The cops will be waiting for you to get out.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it's not like I don't fucking.
policia.
It's not like I don't fucking stick out down there anyway. 'Cause I'm about 4 feet taller than everybody else in that town. White as a fucking sheet.
Yes.
So like everybody knows Gringo in town.
My first time in Mexico, everything was perfect. The grass, every blade of grass was perfect. Nothing was out of order. Everything was beautiful. But the thing that I think made my trip was that at 5'7", 5'8", wherever my spine compression's at the time, I was a tall guy.
Yeah.
That might have been the reason I loved it so much. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being the tall guy.
Man, when
I'm like right your height, exactly 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah, when I moved to Brooklyn, the first neighborhood I was in was Sunset Park, and it's a Puerto Rican neighborhood. And man, I never felt more huge and just gangly and like nothing there is built. And then you just walk into the place and they're all just like,
God damn, what they feeding that boy?
Don't feel gang. Walk in the place, whip it out, and then just put a smile. Smile. Just look right in the eye. Do not break eye contact. No, don't break eye contact. Smile. Really flippin' smile.
All right, we got to get into some music. Music stuff.
I thought we were gonna just talk about.
we can't do a typical Andrew and Matthew.
That's true.
episode.
Yeah, we do get into.
Do you know about this? They last 4 hours, and it's all bullshit.
Yeah,
which is perfect, and I love it.
it does happen.
But we can't do it tonight.
I'm just so crunch ice in my
tonight with.
Well, I'm here to kind of up the general.
Yeah, you bring the
but
tone
you're not
up.
chewing a taco, which is weird to me.
No.
So.
Well,
I had to
we've been
dress
chewing
up
on
front.
stuff. You had what, the nuggets or whatever the fuck it was? Yeah.
Get some nuggies.
I mean, it's really good. The chicken here is really good. Just to make clear, it's indeterminable what part of the chicken it's from.
It's probably the foot.
It seems like there's no real part you can fit it in. It's not a wing. It's not. There should be a bone in there somewhere, but there's no bone. It just does. Because I had a whole thought process about which part of the chicken this is from, and there is no part of the chicken that it can be successfully identified.
So I got to ask you this because, like, I'm becoming more and more concerned that I might be creating the universe because every time I have a thought, it becomes the theme of the day. Anyway, that's a side note.
Well, you're probably the protagonist.
I might be.
We're in PCs, and you're
right. Exactly.
Speak for yourself.
So
I do tend to go in
what part of the pig is this fucking big? Because I opened up a package today, and it was
the butt.
This fucking big.
So when I get the pork butt roast, it's the big honking. And if you ever seen a pig's ass,
it is big.
Like they have hips. They got hips like fucking Megan Thee Stallion. They're like.
But how do they have hips? Like, I mean, there's a whole grocery store refrigerator dedicated to these giant cuts of pork ass.
Buy a plane ticket. Come on around to Serbia. We live in the city at the moment, but I got a little village house down south.
Okay.
Come to the village where we got pigs wandering the streets.
Yeah.
And we have big hogs.
Oh, yeah.
Big. You will see. I will take you up to the hog itself and point right to the buttocks area where you are getting, and you'll understand when you see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you pay enough, I bet you can even get the guy to kill. He'll even let you kill the pig.
I don't want to kill the pig. But I tell you what I would like to do. I I went hunting one time with my dad, and we never killed a deer.
Okay.
But I have watched people skin, clean, and pull the meat from a deer.
Yeah, sure.
And it's fucking traumatic.
It's a little.
So
yeah.
as an adult,
I'm from PA. This is like just normal part of.
No, and I'm not one of those people. I swear to God. But I've never participated.
Well, we as first worlders are often separated from the means of our meat.
And I don't like that.
Production.
I don't like that because I'm seriously, I'm chomping into a giant piece of ham today, and I'm thinking, this is a big fucking piece of ham.
No, I understand your dilemma because animals are harder to skin than humans, and I myself.
I disagree. I don't know. Now humans, I've skinned plenty of humans. Well, I worry about the hogs, though. You know, and their feelings.
They have feelings. They're clever little buggers.
They are. They're very, very smart.
You know, there's
I wouldn't know because all my
There's a time of the year in the village where you castrate the young males, and you literally. This is not a. But I'm going to say it anyway. And it's like you start by putting a rubber band around them, and then at a certain point you come in, but they let out. There's a very particular sound, and you can hear the sound they let out across the village, and you know it's that day. When you're outside doing some gardening stuff, and you just hear this like
the sort of sound you would make if your ghoulies were being cut off.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, and I mean, you know, and there's a moment where you like stand to take off your hat, and you're like, oh, you poor, you poor,
wipe your
you
brow, go up to your wife and give her a good kiss. Hey, babe.
Yeah, please don't do that to me in my sleep.
Hey, we're out of rubber bands, right?
Yeah, no, I always felt bad.
Shit.
I took my cat to get fixed, a few years ago, and I did have that moment where I was kind of looking in his eyes, and I was like, I'm telling you, this is probably for the best, I mean.
Definitely best for you, for sure.
Well, especially because I got my vasectomy like a year later.
Oh, no.
And it actually felt, I was kind of like, there was some solidarity there. Like
Did he look at you?
Yeah, he was just kind of looking at me like, I think I know what just happened.
Yeah, Matthew, he left a voice message for me in my phone, and he said,
exactly like that.
I was like, oh, there's my guy. He went and did it, didn't he?
You heard it all the way over there in Syria.
Syria, yeah.
Oh, no, we're Syria now.
So, yeah, Sardinia.
Okay, goddamn. All right, so we're now 15 minutes into it, and we haven't talked anything.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
So we played music tonight.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I've got a very specific question.
Okay.
What country is Sofia in?
That's in
Big city.
Sofia's in Romania, isn't it?
Nope.
No. Bulgaria?
Yep. Okay, very good. Okay.
I want to talk about our boy Alex Jones.
Oh, yeah.
He's our friend. You know what's funny? So we played that song.
Is it funny?
And it's a little bit funny. It's funny now that he's having to pay out the nose, but
it's hilarious.
We played that song, and my mother, she was like, I don't know who that is. I was like, how the fuck do you know who Alex Jones is? And so I had to explain to her who Alex Jones was.
She doesn't own a radio or a television.
Well, I think she probably just doesn't partake in the
bullshit,
the internet shit the way that I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it hadn't even occurred to me that there might be people who had no fucking idea what we were talking about.
On one of the fan sites online, I've actually seen long debates on whether our samples are real.
Oh, wow.
Whether they're real or whether we made them up. Like whether we recorded.
Did y'all play your samples?
Yeah.
Time?
Yeah, they were playing during the set.
I thought that was Paul.
Yeah, well, there's some bits where he is doing some Q stuff, but yeah, no, we have the actual, and you like had to go on the dark web and shit to find some of these because
I didn't go on the dark web, but you have to go through a lot of.
Yeah. Nobody did that. Nobody did that. Matt, nobody did that.
But like they pulled a lot of his stuff off the interwebs, so you have to go hunt for him.
Yeah, I did have to hunt.
Yeah,
and it's the material you have to go through. It will scar you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're not. It's you are changed forever.
Yeah, it ain't right, and that's one of the. It's funny to me because one of my favorite movies in the entire world is called Waking Life. It's a Richard Linklater film, and they filmed it in Austin. And one of the people they brought in was Alex Jones. This was in 2000.
Now dial it back. What is the thing that you're talking about?
Okay, so there's a movie called Waking Life, and it's kind of a surrealist piece where they bring in people to just kind of talk about weird shit. And so one of the people they bring in is Alex Jones, and he's on a megaphone in his car driving through downtown Austin, and he's just ranting and raving all of this conspiracy stuff.
What year is this?
This is 2002, 2003, somewhere thereabouts.
Okay.
Before really anyone knew
Because the
who
closer
he
you
was.
get
Post
to
9/11.
Yeah.
the closer you get to now, the crazier he gets.
Well, I know, but he was nuts then. But he was somewhat interesting at that time because he hadn't
He's always been interesting.
'cause he
He's just
hadn't-
insane.
right. And so I got that. I used to watch that movie all the time, and then years went by, and then the Jones thing kind of became a thing, and I went back and I rewatched it, and I was like,
What's up, brother?
Are y'all doing that right now? You're just
yeah,
Yeah, we're
sorry, man.
we're recording. It's all good.
No, I keep the headsets on to keep me away.
Oh no. Well, here I tell you what. We'll pause our conversation. That mic is now live.
Okay.
What's your name? What are you about?
Hey, I'm Pearl Snapped. I have a podcast called Band Call.
and you
I've
left
heard,
a message,
I've heard of Fort Worth Roots and wanted to meet you guys.
Yeah,
you left a
And
message
I
one
am
time.
jealous of your road. That
Roadcaster.
Roadcaster.
Yeah.
So you left a message the other night.
Did.
There's a
I don't
guy
remember what I said, 'cause- but-
McEnroe.
Keegan
Yes,
McEnroe.
Keegan McEnroe. Yeah.
So Keegan McEnroe had our line tied up
Yeah.
whenever you called in, and I told Keegan
that man, God, he's always got it tied up, right?
whenever that SOB.
You know the last girl I asked out, he had her tied up too.
Keegan
like,
McEnroe tied her up.
That's about right.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So that's
Right.
why the line was tied up. It's Keegan McEnroe's fault, and I'll carry that to the grave.
Because we thought that he had signed off. We thought he had hung up.
Oh, Matthew was there. That's right.
Yeah, we thought he had hung up, but then like 30 minutes go by, and suddenly we hear this blinker
the
going.
blinker, and I'm going.
And we're like,
what
what the
is that
fuck?
noise?
And Keegan's like, yeah, I'm
That's
still
so
here.
Keegan.
Keegan's like, oh yeah, I'm still here, by the way.
I've just been
God.
listening.
So for half an hour, the line was tied up with Keegan.
What message did I leave?
You said, this is Pearl Snap, and I'm disappointed. I really wanted to talk to you guys. And now on this episode, I hope I still have that. I hope I still have that voicemail.
Well, maybe. I
Did
don't
you
know.
delete my voicemail?
I might have. Will you leave me another one? I didn't
Listen,
know.
Don't ask
Well,
for things you don't want.
It,
Like,
it was.
you know, sometimes I need people to talk to, be like, hey.
It was a little garbled,
Is
so I'm like,
anybody out there?
I wasn't even sure what you said. And,
Right,
and
me
so
either.
now when you said Pearl Snap, I'm like,
Yeah.
that was what he was saying. So,
Right. Yeah. Articulation is such a hard thing, you know?
well, and I'm a moron, so.
I didn't say that.
No, I did.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
That's
I did.
fair. Yeah, you can say that. It's fine.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Oh, yeah. This is awesome.
Doesn't
Like,
he?
this is like being on LSD and mushrooms and a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
At the same time.
All you're doing is beer and a couple shots. Like, this music's great.
How do people find your show?
Van Call Show on Instagram.
Okay.
Pearl Snapped on YouTube or Instagram. Either way. Pearl Snapped on Instagram or YouTube. Van Call Show on Instagram.
What's your show about?
So it's a play on words that, you know, you're getting ready, you're going on the road, you have a 10 a.m. van call, right?
Yeah.
Except I'm doing mobile call-in videos with bands on the road, like tour managers, the bass player, lead singer, whatever. And they just got done loading in, doing sound check, and they're boarding up to talk to me and tell everybody about what they're doing. They're in Georgia right now, and
That's
you
cool.
know, they're
Very cool.
a year later, and this new album coming out, and then preferably some dirt about somebody in the band, something, right? Because it's no fun if you don't talk shit.
Very good. All right, brother. Hey, thanks for coming by.
That's me too, man. Y'all have a good one. Have a good night. I like your nipple clamps here.
I've got a few of those, and that particular nipple clamp is for you.
Oh, good.
Paul, if you leave here with less than 3 nipple clamps.
You know, I was once in a bar in New York, and 2 women who were in the porn industry came in. We were striking up a conversation, and they had nipple clamps on them.
And then,
Yeah, so I tried it out. I did not like it.
it sounds terrible.
So
Yeah, you'll have it up there.
Yeah, not tomorrow. It won't be tomorrow. I don't know. Shout out to, what was,
Paul Snap is his Instagram.
I don't even know if I caught his name.
I don't know his actual
Yeah.
name. That's all I know about him.
Well, anyway, that was interesting.
Yes.
And best of luck to those people, and
Absolutely.
thanks for stopping by.
Well, anyone who tries to call in while Keegan's tying up the line.
That motherfucker.
That was the blinker that cracked me up.
It was so great. Did you? Well, nobody's
you
heard
haven't
yet.
posted it yet, so
Yeah.
No, it was
God,
funny.
fucking backlog. Anyway, back to Paul's nipple clamps.
there is no.
Anyway, you're just not a big fan.
Once was enough, and that's that.
Yeah.
Matt, what's the kinkiest weird fucking thing?
Oh,
you ever-
Jesus, motherfucking Christ.
Come on, out with it. Let's go.
I actually...
Paul came all the way from Sydney, Australia, just to.
Oh, good. God, I was I even earlier was trying to go through S places to see, and I hadn't even thought of Sydney.
I did have a thing one time when I was between...
He's going for it.
I was just saying I was between relationships, and like I was dating this girl who was married, but it was like...
Oh my God, you dirty bitch!
It was an open thing. It was like...
okay.
So
Yeah, that's what people say when they want to
no.
fool around
No,
on their
it's
significant
cool,
other.
It's cool. My
So I'm in the
husband's
bar.
okay with it.
I'm in the bar with her, and her husband walks in, and she's like, "Oh, this is my husband. This is the guy that I'm, screwing right now." And he's like, "Oh, cool. How's it going?" And I like
Okay.
talked to him, and we were actually got along really well.
Okay.
And like we
Oh
both
my
enjoyed
God.
we both enjoyed screwing the same woman. So
Oh
it was kind
my
of, it's like,
God.
I mean, it's
I'm not a fan
a
of
thing
this.
that happens.
No. If it's legitimate,
Yeah.
polyamory,
I don't
that's
know.
all right. But I'm just saying, most of the time I
No,
hear
I
that
know.
line,
It's not-
I gotta
it's not
say,
really a
like
thing
9
that's
out of 10 times.
No, I made sure to clear it because I ain't getting castrated like the
Yeah,
pig.
right.
all
And
the fucking-
I have fallen for that once, and not a good feeling.
Yeah.
Because now
I knew a
now
friend
you're
who
Jody.
caught his wife, and then the friend's place in which she was bringing her lovers home from the
Yeah.
bar, and then he's like, "What? How could you let this happen?" And they're like, "Well, you agreed to the open relationship, and he's
Right.
like, "Whoa, no, this is the first I've ever heard of such a thing."
You can get caught in some shit with that type of thing, but yeah. So anyway, that's all I'm doing with that.
Nipple clamps?
Nipple clamps. The problem with them
Is that they clamp
is
your
that they
nipples?
fucking hurt.
Yeah,
It's the problem with them.
I'm not a pain kind of.
No,
like,
I don't either.
I'm like purely pleasure principle.
That's the reason I don't have any tattoos. Is a voluntary pain is a thing that. Like,
Are you
I don't-
tattoo-less?
I am tattoo-less.
I'm
And it's not a
tattoo-less.
moral thing.
Paul, are
it's
you
just, I just-
tattoo-less?
I am tattoo-less.
Oh my God!
I would get a tattoo, but I've never found a tattoo worthy enough
Same.
of putting on my body.
Well, here's the thing that I always say: you would never put a bumper sticker on a Lamborghini.
yeah, right.
Right?
There you go.
Found a good enough one, I'd do it, but I just haven't.
Step up your
Well, yeah,
game.
I mean, the
step up
damnedest-
your game, bumper stickers.
Like I know some very fine tattoo artists, who I wouldn't mind having their work on me, but it's the voluntary pain thing. It's like sitting
And,
through it
and,
while-
and, and I don't care about that either. I'm in the Paul camp.
Yeah.
If I found something that meant something to me. Now, I will say, women with tattoos still my soul.
well,
I don't know. And I don't feel like that's fair.
there's a thing with that. Yeah. There's a lot of very finely inked women in this town.
Jesus, I don't know. Tattoos on women are very nice.
They can be very hot.
Yeah, and then on like my friends, my male friends, I'm just like, why? Why did you do that?
That's just because you don't want to fuck them. That's, it's like, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't have a fetish either way. If you have them or don't have them, I'm fine.
Well, and I kind of fall into that camp too sometimes, but then other times I'm like, God damn, that looks good on her.
No, there's
particular
some
body.
stuff that like it's art. Like
Yes.
there's people
Yes.
who just I get it,
100%.
and like totally fucking go.
And I wish I had a tattoo, but then when I look at my oddly shaped and naked body, I'm like, where would I put the bumper sticker? And it just, I don't know. I can't fucking do
Just
it.
make sure it says like AutoZone or something on it. It's like something real as crass as possible.
Next service free. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my thing too.
Or
It's
$5 and a free coffee.
What would I put? I'd put a TARDIS or something. I don't know, some kind of thing like that. But
We'll get the thing, you get there's a cow in your stomach, and then its anus is your belly button.
Nasty. That's
a real thing.
That's
an actual
that's a prison
real thing.
tag. That's a prison
Yeah, that
tag.
sounds like a bad
Anything where they can there's an anus or.
I mean, because I saw that, I'm just like, wow, man, like,
Yeah.
your sense of self-worth has got to be like.
You're now listening to the Fort Worth Roots Professional Hour. We're talking about all things professional.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
This is a highbrow type of program.
Very highbrow.
I can see why Mr. Houck supports this program because it's
Bring his name up right now.
Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck.
We've been really going after the sponsors lately because I've got this idea that I'm going to be cruising the country in a very tiny, very underfunded mobile podcast studio.
yeah, it's like a bread van you got there or something. It's like
You've seen it,
I've
yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
So I bought this big FedEx truck,
Yeah.
and we're gonna build it out. We're gonna put a
Hey, nice.
studio in there.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I got a buddy who's really into van life.
Yeah.
It's like all the van life he is.
Well, I don't know that I want to do van life. I'm not opposed to it. I'd love to do it, but
You've missed out. There's a whole drama that's occurred behind you for the past 10 minutes that I have been watching. Like,
well, you're a real SOB, aren't you? Because you could have been like, "Yo, check that shit
I
out."
literally talked about it a couple times, but just quietly into
I didn't know who you were talking
No,
about. I
this
thought you
poor
were talking
girl,
about
and she's out here by herself, and you can tell like she is a second away from like sobbing.
Oh.
And I was actually starting to worry, but then her friend came out, and the friend came down and just took her and like in her arms, and then she started sobbing.
Oh, wow.
And clearly there's some I think it's some broken heart stuff. I think she just got
Yeah.
And then the two of them, and then you can watch the two of them entered into this thing where they went from comforting to eventually laughs at the end of it to making her feel better, and then now that she felt better, they got up and walked away, and it's my heart is like is bursting with like
And we're over here talking about
faith in humanity. Right. While you sons of bitches are like down in the gutter.
I will literally pay you $100 if you can bring those two girls over here and we can find out what they were talking about.
That seems.
I'll give you.
Now-
I'll give you $100 cash
That
right now.
seems
How many
ill-advised.
tacos is that worth? That's worth at least 25 tacos.
I know it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for the cash. I'm trying to, because I'll do it.
That would be excellent.
I don't have the sense of shame. I just want to make sure that I'm not
Contributing to some trauma.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is cause anyone. I don't want to.
You don't want the boyfriend to hear.
I don't want. No, I don't care about the boyfriend. The boyfriend obviously did a dick move.
Well,
so
yeah.
You don't
screw
know
the
that.
boyfriend.
It could have been the dad or the mom.
Right now, I'm in this girl's
It
camp.
could have been the teacher.
What I don't want is to
or another girl. It was probably another girl.
Immorally-
My odds are on another girl.
I think it was a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think it was some bullshit that Katie pulled.
I didn't
I think
catch that
Katie
vibe
pulled.
from her.
I think Katie pulled some bullshit.
I just don't want to be in a position to
Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
be a
I get
douche
that.
about it. Like it's not.
That's why I was
hey,
paying you to do
I
it.
witnessed your trauma.
Yeah, I
Would
wish
you like
your
to talk
trauma,
about
and
it
we
on the
want to
mic?
push you on the air, like
Yeah,
da da da,
yeah.
because it'd be funny for us,
Yeah.
No, I just.
That's
I
some Howard
genu- I-
Stern shit. That's
Yeah, I'm not. I can't do that.
Listen,
if anything, I would like just walk up. I'd buy her a drink, but not in a weird way. Just I
Yeah,
just
good
want to do a simple act of kindness and walk away.
Right.
But I don't feel that this would be that act of kindness.
No, probably
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Probably
Well, and there's a reason I was going to pay you to do it. But yeah. No, for
there's
sure.
things you do for free, and there's things you do.
It was going to come off creepy. You walk up and do that thing, but no, I was
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
No, I don't blame you. I wouldn't do it either. That's why I was going to pay you. But sincerely, that would have been an interesting story. What the fuck are you crying about?
Well, the interesting story aspect of it is the only reason why I hesitate.
Trista's here. I got your mic on.
Why don't we get Trista to go into some kind of trauma moment?
Trista, come here.
Can you cry on the mic about like some horrible like thing that's happened?
What? It's on. The mic's on. Talk to us.
What am I? I have no idea what I'm supposed to be talking about, but hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Okay. Why did you put that basket?
Do you want this taco?
Is there a taco in
there?
It's
a whole fucking taco.
Paul will eat the shit
take
out of
that taco, man.
Paul. I literally just ate.
Yeah.
I just ate.
You have a taco?
I'm completely full.
It's pork belly. You can't go wrong with pork belly.
Guys, I've been eating tacos every day. I am full. I'm not eating a taco right now.
Give me that.
Right.
Pork belly?
Pork belly.
All right. The host of the show is about to chow down on some pork belly.
All right. Do it as close to the mic as possible.
Oh, shit.
Pork belly.
Where are you going, Paul?
I'm checking on my girl. I'm just making sure it's all right.
Make sure she's okay.
I thought okay, here's what we did. We sent Trista.
Yeah.
There were some girls that were crying. There were some girls, they were crying. We want the whole story.
Some girls were crying?
Yeah.
When was this?
This was a few minutes ago behind us right over here.
yeah.
I got nothing. I don't know.
No.
Don't worry about it.
Don't.
Anything any method of exploitation of them is off the table.
Maybe somebody's going through a tough breakup. I don't know.
Yes, that's what's happening.
There's some shit. Something's happening. We were just noting it.
Really solid, right?
So goddamn good.
That's food at Lola's.
Paul, you fucked up, boy. Burning it?
I laughed the first time because it's called food at Lola's.
The unidentifiable chicken things. They look like pig testicles that we were talking about.
It's the chicken nuts.
Yeah, chicken.
Right.
Chicken nuts, yeah.
So while I'm chowing down on this, I want you to tell the listeners.
Yeah.
By the way, we play in a band.
The whole thing.
Yeah, there is
just
a band.
Just to make sure to get that out there.
No.
We actually did music tonight.
I kind of like this public image we have now.
Yeah.
This is the second time you guys have ever played together.
Yeah. Live.
Why?
Because he lives way the fuck over in Sydney, Australia. No.
Saskatchewan.
No, he lives a long way away.
Sassafras.
Yeah.
Sarsaparilla. Let's just get them all out.
You're just saying things with S.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just S words.
Oh, I am, yeah.
Schwarz. Yeah. No.
I'm from
The
Sex.
Schwartz.
I'm from Sex.
No,
I am from Sex.
This is what I was sitting over there with Paul, and he was like, "Man, we better go do this podcast quick because it's going to start getting silly if we wait too much longer." I think we passed it.
What if it's already gotten silly?
No, it's
No. We're completely. We're
from the jump, babe. It's been bad.
Chef's kiss.
It's been so bad.
We are consummate professionals. Like absolutely walking the straight line.
Yeah. The network censors are not going to have any of this, really.
And then Matthew said, well, you'll have to turn that bass up an extra 2 decibels. That was a rival time, I'll tell you.
I don't get that. I don't know what that was.
It doesn't. Yeah,
Andrew's like, I don't know, man. I was just eating this taco. I
you
got
tell the
nothing.
young people today that they won't believe you. Yeah. There's.
We're going to have to cover a little bit of what we did last episode.
Okay.
So, a year ago.
Yeah. So the
Dial it
recap.
back.
Here's the recap. Back in 2010, we decided to make.
We lived in a cardboard box on the side of the road. Down by the
dream
river.
of living in a cardboard box.
Dad used to wake us up by beating us with his belt buckle.
Yeah. So
I was 4 years old.
So we made a damn record. We wanted to make a record out of this Lovecraft piece called Silver Key. Made it, put it out. We were really big in Brazil for a minute, and then kind of went about our business. And then
Were you still in New York when you did that?
No, I was in Texas. Paul was in Serbia. Though.
Okay, so it's all.
But we had both left fairly recently.
I left in early '06. I think you left shortly thereafter.
So the important
08,
part,
early
I
08.
think, is that you guys are collaborating
right.
overseas
Yes.
through the internet.
Yeah.
You're not jamming
We're
this
not
shit out in a studio. You're doing it together.
Yeah, what I generally...
But independently.
Exactly. What generally happens is that I'll send him a guitar riff of some kind. He will
usually.
He will construct something around it, send it back, and then I will add on top of that, send it back. He will send it back. We'll do that back and forth for a while.
Very little dialogue.
Yeah, and then eventually somebody puts a vocal on it, and then there's a bit of back and forth about like, okay, where does this go in the scheme of things, but there's not a whole lot of back and forth. I mean, usually it's just like, here's the bit, here's the bit, here's the bit, and then it becomes kind of intuitively clear after a while where it's going.
Right.
Sometimes there's a little bit of like, well, should it go this way or that way? But most of the time it's pretty clear where it needs to go. And I think that's probably because we come from a similar musical background of the things we're aiming for.
Yeah.
Like, conceptual prog rock type of stuff, like,
which is kind of crazy because.
But it's also each person, each time it gets sent, you're trying to add, a good bit to it that you like, but you don't want to add so much.
Yeah.
That like it doesn't give the other person room.
Exactly.
So you're trying to be somewhat respectful, but there comes a point where it's clear there's no point in adding more. You're just going to gum up the works.
Yeah.
And so it's done, and at that point, then it's up to who's going to put the vocal in.
And that's been the main thing, is that sometimes there have been a couple occasions where we each came up with a vocal, but I think in both cases we kind of went, okay, I think this one's the better vocal. Like it kind of depends on what.
That hasn't happened too many times.
Yeah, just like
most of the time, like the vocal got claimed, and
But I think some of that, it is weird because it seems like a thing that shouldn't happen. It seems because you always hear about creative differences and everyone kind of, but I do think part of that is the fact that we're separated, and that when we come up with stuff, it's in its own little zone. But I think also it's just that we are musically with these projects, we are kind of living on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's been stuff that I'm listening to it and I go, I actually think that should be a Paul vocal, so I just leave it.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I get a track back and he's done the vocal on it,
So I will say this, and this is nothing against my musician people that have been on the show, but I do a lot of interviews with musicians.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys sitting here right now, your limited amount of self-interest or ego is what makes this collaboration work.
And I think
that's also because we have our other projects in which we are God, and I rule with an iron fist, unquestioned in my creative decisions, and because of that, I actually desire some projects for collaboration, which it's actually I'm happy to put together on my put aside my ego and my larger ambitions, and I think it's more difficult to do if you're in a band and that band is your sole outlet. Like that band, it's your bread and butter, it's your thing. You're going to have much more clashes. There's going to be a lot more on the line, as we're both of us are doing this for the collaborative aspect. If he wants to play God, he's got his whole arm where he can do that.
I have a band that I named after myself. So
Matt has like 12 bands.
That's the thing. So like Paul has created what is known as the Shapera verse, and many like he's got his own.
I am a whole cosmology, motherfucker.
So like
I literally am God of my little universe.
So he's got the realm.
Please stop. I haven't drank the last one you bought.
Thank you.
Yes, Paul's going to drink it.
Sir.
Jeff Zero
drink this drink.
This episode is brought to you by Jeff Zero, who is buying all the $8, $9, $10, $12 beers that we have here at Lola's.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I'm about to chow into that first
Trying to keep the show lubricated.
Absolutely.
We are very lubricated.
Without moisture, there can be no lubrication.
Exactly.
That is a delicious.
These beers are made mostly of moisture, so I'm just.
There's a lot of moisture in a beer.
Just trying to help.
Did you like that?
I actually do.
That's like my beer of choice.
That's a delicious beer.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, Carbach does
Glad
this.
you like that.
I have played the Carbach Brewery. It's a good place. Carbach. But no, he is right about the ego thing, because both of us have substantial egos.
Yeah.
But we have outlets for them.
Yeah.
I think as a creator, like you have to have. I mean, it's just kind of like
There's a reason that
if you're gonna put a shoe on, you gotta have a sock.
But also as a creator, constantly searching to better oneself and explore new territory. I have to collaborate
Yeah.
every now and then, or else I can't push my boundaries. I will sit in the same box forever.
Well, how will you grow?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why. So, as a musician, my thing is, if you're the best player in the room, you're in the wrong room, right?
With so many things.
I love to find the guitarist who can just kick my ass because I can learn from them. I can find out what they're doing that I'm not. And the same thing with songwriting. Same thing with
clearly I'm the guitarist who can kick his ass.
right. Yeah, he's a fine guitarist. You know. No, dude. Like you sent me a track one time. You were like, well, I'm trying to get the guitar to sound like this, and there was some kind of guitar simulator that you had where you could program it in.
Oh, yeah.
And it sounded like and it was actually pretty fucking good, you know. So like the software these days is one of those things where it's going to put the guitarist out of work.
No, I can perfectly mimic guitar in a whole variety, but up until a solo.
Yeah.
Up until a guitar solo, at which point I've got to have a real guitarist.
It's different. It's a different thing. But yeah, as far as like, I think it was like some kind of classical flamenco type of guitar or whatever it was. And
they got really good.
Well, it's like they have, on the new record, there's some parts where you're using a synthetic female vocal, you know, to come in on a couple of spots, like the chant.
There was a bit of that, yeah.
You know.
I forgot about that.
And so...
It's probably a sample in actual.
Yeah, it's a sample.
Woman singing.
And so there's a lot of things that you can do with that, and that's one of the things that helps push me when I'm working with him, because he is very much a production guy, like, you know, with all the arrangements and everything, and I tend to work with the live band for the most part, so my arrangements are based around that. But it's interesting to see what he comes up with that is not based on like a 4-piece, you know, rock band.
Very, very productive collaboration between you two.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
fucking genius.
I feel like it's helped to push us. It's definitely helped to push me to try new stuff.
I loved the King in Yellow album.
Yes,
King in Yellow
yes.
by Ah Pook The Destroyer.
Yes.
But I legitimately...
I would encourage people to listen to our last episode, because we went into y'all's origin. We talked about how this all came to
where our
to
planet
pass.
blew up and they ended up on the rocket ship. And
Exactly. But
exactly
you
like
guys have, as far as I know, a very, very unique story. I don't know.
It's pretty weird.
You know, if you look into the history books with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you try to find somebody that's done something similar, I can't think of an example.
The closest thing to it is probably Alan Parsons' project. Is probably like,
and I know nothing.
It's like it's not. It wasn't even a band. It was just like Alan Parsons and Eric Wolfson had these songs they wanted to record, so they just rounded up a bunch of musicians and played them. And
what about Ween?
Yeah, well, Ween, I guess that's the same type of deal.
Two guys. I mean, a lot more drugs.
So I don't know what you guys are talking about, man. Hopefully the listeners do. But if those guys are in the running for being kind of the prototype for what you're doing, did they ever play live?
Oh yeah, Ween
does.
And Alan Parsons since then has played live gigs. But they went for a long time without playing them.
Alan Parsons was really a studio.
Yeah, he was a studio guy, and well, he mixed Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
Oh,
he was an engineer.
All right.
But he was friends with Eric Wolfson, who was a really good songwriter, and so they got together. And their first album was called Tales of Mystery and Imagination. It was
good album,
and it was Edgar Allan Poe. It was all Edgar Allan Poe stories that they put to music. And so they hired a bunch of musicians from bands like Ambrosia and whatnot, and put out this album by a band that didn't really exist. And so I think we on the Silver Key we pulled a lot from Tales of Mystery and Imagination, like aesthetically, you know, because that was kind of the template of like, because we were doing a Lovecraft story.
I see
he had been doing post, you know, it's a little more similar. King in Yellow is a little more. It feels a little more like The Wall to me. It feels like more of kind of a more abrasive, topical. It feels more aggressive to me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, although these aren't, you know,
it's so unique. I can't put a pin in it. I really can't.
Although clearly we both love like the concept album.
Yeah. And it's very funny because we got a review a while back for it, and somebody was like, you know, I mean, it is good, but like it's not like anyone's looking around for the new prog rock concept album, and that is true. That most people aren't going around looking for that.
Well, you know what else is true? People say shit because there's no fucking repercussions and they're just dickheads. You know what?
But I do think it is.
If you don't enjoy the art, just go ahead and fuck off.
Well,
find something you do like.
We were talking about that earlier, like some of the styles that are being played tonight at the Psychedelic Panther Festival are styles that, in one form or another, have kind of just hung around, even if they've never been really trendy. Like, so we had Secrecies playing earlier. Yeah. They kind of cast back to a Mazzy Star, Cocteau Twins type of thing, which has never really necessarily been chart-topping, but it's always just kind of been there.
But it's never
gone away. And I feel like when we put out The King in Yellow, I was submitting it to all these little niche prog rock podcasts and internet radio stations. Yeah. And they were playing a lot of modern stuff, like stuff that was being made now. And a lot of it, of course, is European. But I think that these undercurrents are still there. It's just that they're not the new hip thing that everyone's trying to get to. But we've never been the new hip thing. Like Paul makes,
if you're gonna gauge your art on what's popular, dude.
Yeah.
Name an artist that's not dead that got really fucking popular.
Listen,
I know there's Taylor Swift.
You can make an album that perfectly encapsulates the modern style, right? And it can have good melodies, and it can be perfect in every way, and it can even be a bit of a hit. It will never. But if you didn't love it, if you didn't love it deep in your soul, I believe listeners may listen to it and they'll even like it, but they won't love it. Right. They won't love it too. Yeah. There has to be this degree of passion in order to spark passion in others.
I agree. Yeah. And that's the thing about it, and I feel like people can feel that with the stuff that we've done, is that a lot of the comments I get is just like, the thing that you're doing, it's sincere, and I think we are sincere in what we do. I wouldn't do it just to fuck. Which is funny you mentioned Ween, because Ween, a lot of times they're just fucking around.
Well, yeah.
But
will purposely go against it.
Yeah.
And that's their thing. And what's before? Listen. I want to be in love, and when I make an album, for a period of time, I am in love, deeply in love with what I'm doing, and if I don't feel that, I'll actually abandon the project. Yeah, I just won't go further.
Yeah, I gotta ask this: are you married?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a loneliness thing you're talking about.
No. I'm not romantically in love with my albums. I don't sit around. I don't get naked, and take a CD into bed.
All right. I think we're good. Yeah, with the visuals. Yeah.
Well, but there is a thing with creators, though, and the significant others of creators have to understand this, that when you are deep in a project, you kind of are having a side relationship for a little bit, there's, when you're really into a thing, it can be like that, and thankfully, I'm dating a creator right now, so we kind of understand that, about each other. Like when we're on a thing, it's like you're on that thing, and it's okay for you to obsess about it.
That's really fucking cool to hear you say that, because
the woman who won't wait for you knows that wherever you do, there's a part of you always standing by. Mapping out a sky. Yeah. There's a song from a musical that's talking about the guy who did Sunday in the Park, the famous painting about how the women leave him, but any woman who's with him knows that, and this is true. This is the most true thing I've ever heard, that there is a part of him at all times that is off in a little corner, just standing by, trying to work out whatever that little artistic problem he is. And that is the story of my life. Yeah. There is a piece of me it's just waiting, and at any given moment, if something comes along that can be utilized, it's there, and it will snap at it, and it never really goes to sleep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And thank God that I'm not musically inclined, because I've had people try to cite the podcast as a creative endeavor, and I have to.
Well, it is though.
Well, and I have to step them back and go, no. I kind of report on creativity. I bring creativity into this realm, but I'm not a creator. I'm not doing anything creative.
I think anyone who creates a podcast is a creator, and you can disagree
I think
with
that's
me if you want.
very nice of you.
No,
but what you do is art. It really is.
But a well done. This is my thing. As somebody who has podcasts,
What Paul
a well done Paul
from
podcast.
Seattle does is art. Oh no shit! That's another S
A
name.
mix of all
I caught it. And kudos, because I tried to rattle off a bunch of them just to make it more difficult for you, and you have risen to the occasion.
I had to really, hunker down for that one.
Yeah, no one's ever heard of Seattle.
Sarsaparilla.
But to what you're talking about, my last 2 relationships have ended with the statement, "You are in love with your podcast."
Well,
One of those was 8 years long.
but what that means, though,
Year-long
what that
relationship.
means though is that the person who will understand it is out there, and
Maybe. Or she died of cholera.
she died 100 years ago.
Yeah, but there's significant. There are plenty of significant others of all possible genders who also have their own
Exactly.
area of passion.
So that was you talk about night. I was married for 20 years,
Burning you?
and but there comes a point at which
round of applause.
you either understand it or you don't, and if you don't,
It's too much. It's too
and,
much. If
And
you
so,
don't get it.
well,
yeah.
what I had to figure out is I needed to find another creator, because that was a conversation we didn't have to have. And it's like, we understand, like if you're creating, go create, like you know what it is.
Yeah.
But I get that people who maybe don't want that.
Oh well, my wife's just a sucker for punishment.
She's a masochist.
You just gotta find
But I also know your wife, and she is a creative person.
Yeah. Well, she's definitely not a masochist. But yeah.
But I think that there has to be an understanding on both sides of what's going on, and but that's just relationships generally, though. Like you both have to understand what it is that makes the other one go. And that doesn't matter what it is. If it's cooking, if it's a podcast, if it's a fucking weird ass concept record about a story hardly anyone remembers,
engaging in artistic endeavors is it's a fruitless endeavor, right?
I wouldn't say fruitless.
Well, I mean, many times. I mean, if you go to college and then you specialize in your field and then you get a job at a Fortune 500 company and
Do you? Good luck. I mean, wow.
I'm just saying.
I don't remember that.
I've never done that.
Yeah, right.
All I'm saying is there's a route that you take to get to a place, and it's kind of like the American dream, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But
If you want that route,
sure. But outside of that, there's these people that just couldn't give a fuck less about that.
Yeah.
And we want to just kind of do what we want to do.
Right.
And there's middle ground, sure. Like I've got my full-time job. You got to have a job, right?
No, in some cases, he has managed to make music his full-time job, which is
That's excellent.
It was a long, hard road to get there.
I know. And
Sure you of that.
But that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Reduce your expenses and then
Right.
get to a point.
Well, that's
But-
why I moved to Saigon.
That's what I told everybody. Meet my buddy Paul from Saigon.
he looks a little bit.
We came back.
Like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
What? Where were we going?
No, it was Billy Joel. But yeah.
I missed that one.
No, it's all right. You're
Billy Cyrus.
You're not as old. You're not as old in a fart
It's my
as we are.
expansive musical
It's your
knowledge.
expensive. Well, no. Yeah.
Guys, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, anyone who's still listening at this point,
They're dialed in.
visit us at
apookthedestroyer.com.
That's what's up.
Find us on the Spotify's, on the Pandoras, on the whatever.
The King in Yellow. The King in Yellow. I mean, the Silver Key is awesome,
I like
too.
the Silver Key.
Yeah. But
Y'all had some new music
some
tonight.
people prefer the Silver Key.
Well, so
How much of what y'all played tonight was new?
We played half and half.
Half and half.
We did
Nice.
half from Silver Key, half from King. But we also threw in a Genesis cover because we were feeling squirrely. So we did a little instrumental.
Next year we have to do Margaret, who has come to see us.
Earthly
both times.
Shackles.
Earthly Shackles. Oh, she mentioned it to you.
So yeah, there's a song on the first record.
I can't remember it. You know, I'm actually gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to go back and remember the guitar part because
no, but I
don't
can't even
remember it.
sing a melody from the song. I actually don't remember the song.
Oh yeah,
at all.
it's
Anyway.
on. It's very short. It's like a 2-minute song, which is odd for us because we usually have these giant fucking 7-minute suites.
Prog rock, baby. I'm gonna write an album-length epic this time.
This one is called "Lick My Love Pump."
We're not gonna stop for 4 hours.
You haven't seen Spinal Tap?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Oh, you and I need to watch Spinal Tap.
Let's
You
do
would
it.
enjoy that
Hey,
very much, yeah.
We need to do movie screenings at the new studio.
Yeah.
We got that big backyard.
Oh,
We'll rent. Oh,
We'll do that.
I'll rent the inflatable theater.
Yeah, inflatable theater.
Yeah.
It's not where I thought you were going with that. I mean, I was gonna like, y'all get freaky in y'all's time, however you want. But that like that last time we get together, I'll bring the inflatable dolly. There's an inflatable there's inflatable erotic sheep, and it's called I Love You, but like EWE, like I Love You.
I'm sorry.
It's got a thing, glory hole and everything. Like you can like.
Okay,
does it
I'm
have,
not
like-
sorry. You be sorry.
It's got
That's
the big,
terrible.
The big buttocks. It's
No.
got the, yeah, it's got the.
Like as like a outdoor group outing thing.
Yeah.
Like invite some friends.
That's plastic. It's a little plastic thing. This bar I used to hang out at had one of those. Like that's. I just want to make clear that's how I know
Brace
about
yourselves,
this.
folks. Here comes the full story.
I was talking about the dark web earlier.
You know, finding those Alex Jones samples, it was you don't know what I went through. A man has to you got to let
The
that
guy
steam
has
up.
his limits.
And there she was.
Little inflatable goat,
Named
baby.
her Mary, my little lamb, and
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they don't want that to happen, they shouldn't stop. They should stop dressing so slutty, like that.
Paul, do you think you'll ever start coming here a little more frequently to rape our tacos?
what?
Oh yeah, taco rapist.
I mean, listen,
You're
I come to the
dirty
States probably about 3 times a year.
Rapist.
Texas once a year, and in a few more years, once my eldest, gets off to college, I'll probably, get a little place in Pennsylvania.
We have a visitor. Do you know what this
Kids
slider
are all right.
does? It says, "Thank you for joining us." Thank
Burning
you.
yet? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was very received.
It was. Yeah.
Message of love and
We
truth.
got to the end of the road and there was a cul-de-sac and we just kept going around it. So, no, it's not live. I would never allow myself to be live.
He knows
But
better
you're
than
great.
that.
Thank you so much. You contributed a lot,
Yeah.
and I appreciate you.
I'll have to think about that for a while.
I thought that's what Forrest Gump should have sung when he got to the mic
Absolutely.
at the, Washington kind of phallic symbol thing.
Yeah.
He should have sung that song, and they should have played it, and it would have been awesome.
I got shot in the butt.
Is that what he said?
I think that movie came out 4 years.
Well, they cut
Forrest
the mic,
Gump?
but it's leaked like what?
Oh, okay.
Come on.
How old are you?
You're not that goddamn old. I'm 38.
Okay. All right.
You're accepted.
Now you really can't get better than that shirt. That's a fun thing.
So this gentleman is wearing a shirt. He has come upon us now.
Yeah.
It is a cat that is surfing on 2 sharks.
Yeah.
Water skiing.
Yeah, water skiing on 2 sharks with 2 dolphins leaping up behind him.
The great white sharks are the method.
There's a bunch
tool
happening
that's
here, but
propelling the
that's
kitty
the
forward.
yeah that's the
And
gist.
he has like an American flag.
The kitty
Swim
does.
trunks.
The kitty has the American flag.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
What kind of cat is that? It's like a.
it's Yeah.
Well, I know, but aren't there like breeds of cats? Like there are breeds of dogs. I don't know. I don't know
A buddy
shit
of
about
mine,
cats.
Michael, he wants to do a podcast where we redo Friends, right? We kind of, but Friends in a post-apocalyptic setting.
Oh wow.
Same relative cast, but it's the apocalypse.
Okay.
So everything, takes on a whole different darker tone.
Yeah. I'm for it.
It's a good idea.
I like it. I love it.
So bald.
We're all dead.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put that fader down.
Thank you so
There we
much.
go.
Thank you
for playing.
All right. Take whatever
Take
you
your
want.
clamp.
Take
Yeah,
everything.
clamp.
God damn it, dude. I mean, just
Wow, we
went
have
on
just jumped the shark.
Oh, look at that. It's dead.
Oh, okay.
goddamn way.
Another
I
one.
mean, I swear to God, how old are you?
He's about 12.
Our last conversation did not go well.
I thought it was about the Joe Rogan thing. So I was like, hey, you're going to the Joe Rogan show.
Tilt that fucking thing.
Guys, gals, non-binary pals, how do out there in the digital sphere?
Hey, that's
I
good,
love it.
dude.
I
That's
love
a
it.
good
Yes,
intro.
yes,
I
yes,
think that.
absolutely. What's your name? What are you about?
Dave Cave. I'm from Fort Worth.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're not from Fort Worth.
No, I'm not.
Where are you from?
Well, for the last 14 years, I've been here.
Word. Well, it's kind of like the islands. You've been here for a minute. You kind of, Fort Worthian, I guess, by nature.
Oh my God.
He's from Weatherford.
Yeah, I'm not even original.
I've known Mr. Broyles for a minute.
I've known you for a minute, sir.
Come on,
How's it going, man?
Good to see you.
I saw your band playing over at Ampersand the other day.
That was crazy. Yeah, we saw
Yeah.
y'all on the live chat, Plum Boys.
Yeah, yeah.
That Tannehill show was wild.
Yeah.
Oh
Shout
shit!
out
You were
to-
just on JJTM.
Yeah. Shout out
Fuck
to Dustin,
yeah.
Susie, the Treehouse.
Oh yeah, very
Yeah.
cool, very cool.
It was dope.
That's awesome.
It's
Trista kind of sent me over here, so I was just floating.
Oh, good.
absolutely.
Go
Good
check
honor.
out Trista Morris paintings.
Are you,
the connecting fiber of
yeah,
our
man.
worlds.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
Very cool.
Definitely. What do y'all think of the show so
Wow,
far?
ampersand.
It's good.
Oh shit, it's been great. Do we have any more bands left?
I'll keep
Are
waiting
there
for
any more
whoever's
bands
next.
left?
There's one more from my understanding. So
Okay.
I'm gonna
I
check
think
that
Laura
out.
Like hasn't gone on yet, so I think they're about
That's
to.
the one, yeah.
Yeah.
She looks fabulous tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's a good little
I mean,
outfit.
not get this near.
Who's the one last night with the M's? The
Mean Motor
Morley,
Scooter.
It's not Mean Motor
So
Scooter.
you're with the Plum Boys, right?
The
okay, cool. Nah, man,
Oh,
that
Maestro
episode,
Maya.
that episode
Maestro
y'all did with
Maya.
JJTM was
I like
awesome.
them. I like them.
I want to plug them because
It
I
was
really
cool.
dug
I
this
got to
set
shout
last
out
night.
Dustin and Susie.
Mayo Maestro, I thought it
It
was.
was a good time.
Maestro Maya.
Yeah,
That's
chopped
what
it up.
is, yeah.
Good people.
I left my copy of Vice City. So I got Mike Score to sign my copy of Vice City, and I left it over there for a week or so because I was gonna bring it up on the show, but it never came up in the moment. But
Yeah.
shout out to Mike Score and everybody in Flock of Seagulls. Kevin, if you're listening, the drummer. He was also in another band. I can't remember at the moment what it was, but
Yeah.
that was a crazy time.
That's cool.
Do you know these guys?
Well, I know
Known
Dave.
Matt for a minute.
Yeah, he hasn't met Paul before. This is Paul. This is one of my co-conspirators.
We might have been acquaintances at some point. I think I might.
Oh, shit.
Only
God
way.
damn it.
Oh, watch it. Don't stand on
Anyway, it's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Andrew, what was the experience you thought didn't go well?
it. On concerning.
You were saying the last time we met didn't go well or something.
No. The person we had on before, and I'm gonna have to cut the.
No, because I was over off in the thing.
I'm gonna cut the whole thing from the fucking episode. Definitely gonna cut.
Thank
that
goodness
whole
for the
fucking thing.
editing.
Yes. Anyway, no, nothing about you. It was the on the microphone.
A mix of all
And she was starting to sing too. I was like, if she starts singing more than like 3 words, you're gonna have to pay royalty fees. So you
I
gotta,
know. Yeah, you don't want to do
Oh
that.
God,
block
dude,
it
it's
out.
just-
Yeah, the lawyers will come for you. You don't
I
want
don't
that.
know. It was a weird situation. I didn't know how to talk my way out of it. I tried. I kept lowering the
No, you
thing,
did.
and then Paul was like, "Nah, let's see what she's got." I'm like,
No,
Well, I thought we were going to get better.
I know. I was of your camp. I thought.
It's the curse of optimism sometimes that you
Yeah.
believe these things.
Anyway, it's not live, so fuck it.
What do y'all think of shoegaze music?
Who?
Way dig shoegaze music.
Shoegaze.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I missed
It's
it.
kind of the
I missed it.
psychedelic kind of. It's the rebranding or the reboot of psychedelia.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I mean-
I don't mean to put it like that. I know people are gonna come after me.
No, they're kind of 80s, early 90s
Yeah, you kind of got a little
version of it.
pavement-esque or whatever, or My Bloody Valentine or whatever.
Souvlaki is a masterpiece.
Souvlaki. It's this. Yeah, it's one of those things like we were talking about that never quite went away.
Trying to push past that.
But it's interesting.
Big round of
It's interesting to
applause.
hear those types of influences here tonight.
It's very orchestral. That's one thing I've noticed.
Right.
It's very focused on like how Leonard Skinner or a band will hit like one note and they'll keep it going for like a couple minutes before they start the first song.
Right.
It's like they do that, but for like three and a half minutes.
Yeah.
Almost sometimes. Like
It can take a while to get going. Yeah.
I thought shoegaze was important. It kind of pioneered it took the vocals out of the whole like we have to listen to them as a kind of separate lyrical thing and brought it to be like just another instrument.
It's an instrument, right?
Mix.
Yeah, that was kind of the deal. Which is what we were kind of talking about earlier with the bands who, it's not necessarily important what they're singing. You're listening for the tones, you're listening for the.
Yeah, several bands I've seen.
Yeah.
I've had the same, sort of feel.
It's been said that is it about the notes or what's in between the notes?
Right. Which is it's not intuitive for me because I'm a lyrics guy, but I get it. I'm interested when people do it. It's curious.
I feel that.
Go ahead.
And then singing also. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So one thing I've noticed is it's exactly wholesale. Like you're buying the ticket, you're taking the ride. They're looking at their shoes most of the time.
Right.
They're not looking at the audience. They're not trying to say, "Y'all feeling all right tonight?"
Yeah.
It's none of that.
I respect that because I sometimes at least it's honest.
Right. I think so. Yeah. If you're.
Hey, how's everyone doing up there? It's okay. You can, if your thing is you don't want to do that, then I actually think you shouldn't. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just create a room, man. Create a musical room in which we'll all just exist.
It's the atmosphere.
Did you catch Ah Pook tonight? Ah Pook The Destroyer?
I got here late.
No,
I got here late.
Yeah, I did. They suck, man. They were like, how is this?
I heard they suck balls.
Bunch of pretentious
Oh my
fucks.
god.
Is it Pook the Destroyer? Pook the Destroyer.
Yeah,
Ah
exactly.
Pook it's like a William Burroughs
It's
thing.
William Burroughs poem. Yeah.
Ah Pook the
I know all the people I invited out to this thing showed up, watched Ah Pook, and
Well, I appreciate that.
left.
Well, they
You guys were the feature.
Well, I appreciate that.
Which is weird.
It is
Because
weird.
you were the first band.
Right? Yeah, that is a little strange to me.
Not weird to me because
That's only because we're not playing the same night as me Motor Scooter, because like those guys,
well.
and Paul and I were talking earlier about Maestro Maya, who were on yesterday, and they were fantastic. So if anyone gets a chance to see them, you should definitely do that because they were on a level.
Can you imagine the fucking draw yesterday if we had had Mean Motor Scooter and Ah Pook?
Well, that would have been a thing. It would have been a thing.
But today
The
was really
universe
cool.
can't handle
Saturday
that
was
much.
great. Saturday was great.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Mean Motor Scooter is a good band to have a drink to or to go skateboarding to.
Absolutely,
Depending
yeah.
on the day.
No, I agree
Or
with that totally.
Both.
I like
And they're
that.
also solid guys. They're good
Well,
guys.
and I appreciate what you had to say about Mean Motor Scooter, but if I'm having sex, that is the album. Pick any one that they've put out.
Robots and Centipedes
that-
is kind of freaky. Nah.
That's the one I'm having sex to, for sure. Or doing
Or
my
sucking balls too.
or doing my shopping. Or sucking balls.
When I'm sucking balls, I like to put on Mean Motor Scooter.
The new generation is already making their mark on the world.
See, if you cut that out,
It's gonna sound so fucked up.
You'll miss
What are they talking about? Well, I don't care. I'm cutting it out. I don't care. So it's just gonna be like, yeah, Paul. I don't know. Shit went off the rails. He was talking about second balls. We have no idea where it came from.
I think you gotta leave it in as a
Maybe a little. Maybe I'll leave just maybe the intro.
context.
Because right up front, she's like, yeah, suck balls. And then we're like, what? And okay, so I'll leave that.
Yeah,
But the rest of that shit, no.
No, we don't need all 15 minutes.
We don't
of,
need the exposition afterwards.
Well, there was no exposition.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I had a probably 7-year-old woman today try to convince me that it's okay to date younger women, and I was like, you don't have shit to say to anybody, right? And
I disagree. I disagree.
Okay, fine, but let me finish.
My kid's 14, and actually, he's got a good bit to
I
say.
really have to finish this train of thought, though.
All right.
So this woman was trying to convince me that it would be cool if, like me at 38, was dating a 22-year-old. That was kind of her argument. Like, oh yeah, you know,
It depends which 22 years.
But that's not advice to just like.
age is just a number was her message, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, the younger you are, the less you have to talk about.
So I'm
38 years old. I've lived
Depends on
a
intelligence.
really complicated life.
I've got to say, it depends very much on the person. So I am 49 years old. Trista is 32 years old.
At 38 years old, I have no business on
there is a
any
gap.
in any world of dating a 22-year-old woman
It's
or girl,
it's a matter of
a child.
peer, and it's a matter of. There's.
I think it has to do with who it is. If you met a really mature,
I mean,
thoughtful 22-year-old.
have you ever met one? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm sorry. I guess I'm fucking jaded or just too goddamn old and shitty.
No, you know.
But 22 sounds too fucking young to me. I don't know.
You have your boundaries.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to insult 22-year-olds.
I don't. Okay, listen. It's not an insult. It's just
because that's a lot of Paul's constituency. Is what.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I can't. I'm gonna alienate my fan base if I don't speak up for. No, I'm just. No.
I'm not talking shit on anybody that's under the age of 38. I'm just saying, like, for me, if I'm gonna have a meaningful relationship with a significant other,
sure.
And Matt knows.
Yes, because
the life that I've had,
a peer situation.
There's no fucking way that I'm going to be able to hang out with somebody that's 22 years old and has worked at TCBY for.
Yeah, because they're not your peer. The age difference makes there's a
Do
peer.
they still have TCBY?
I don't know. That's why I threw it out. That's why I threw it out there. Like I'm an old fucker. I don't know.
But you can be friends. You can be in a mentor situation. There's lots of
You know what we like to do is go
relationships based around mutual respect that can be had.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking like a significant other.
Yeah,
though.
well, yeah.
Like
we're not peers.
No.
I'm not here to dispense dating advice.
Hello, Trista Morris.
Happy trails to me.
We're talking about some weird, controversial shit over here.
Are y'all out? Okay.
Man, good to see you.
See you again. Thank you so much for listening.
We're saying all our goodbyes.
All right.
The night's still young, though.
Looks like Fort Worth Roots podcast is going to be the last fucking structure
No, it ain't young at all.
Sans amor, la vie ne passe de son.
Ain't nothing young about this night.
The edibles are just kicking in.
The gummies are starting to
Miss
spark.
Frizzle.
Yeah, so I had 11 of them.
Miss Frizzle.
I heard a story earlier tonight about, we were getting to the Texas border. I had 11.
Everybody had Miss Frizzle.
I had 11 gummies.
I had to get rid of them, so we just took them.
Everybody had,
I didn't speak
No,
again for the next 7 hours.
If we had 11 gummies, we would not be sitting here.
Oh, no. No. I'm a little more experienced.
Well, let's tie this up. Hey, we're going to tie this up. We're going to go have some fun.
Drugs.
Paul, thank you for being in Texas.
Yeah.
Thank you for eating all our tacos.
Yeah.
Where can people find your content?
Paul Shapera. Paul Shapera. Just look up Paul Shapera. Look up New Albion. Look up Ah Pook The Destroyer.
Okay.
Any of those things will get you.
I'm going to put these in the show notes.
For anyone who's interested, I make pulp operas, musical core. I make science fiction musicals. They tell really weird stories, and you should definitely check it out. And then over here's Matthew.
Yeah, you should go to thematthewshow.com. There's lots of tunes there. I'm making a radio play of my first novel.
Can I still get in on that?
Yeah, you're Captain Perez. We got
Okay.
So yeah, I'm making a radio play of it. Just hoping to have it out by fall. 26 episodes. Gonna put them out, and I think it'll be cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of local, including Mr. Keegan McEnroe, who's playing.
That motherfucker.
Trista has a part in it, and Paul himself has done the theme music for it. So.
Noise.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
All right,
I'm looking
folks.
forward. I genuinely enjoyed the book. Like really.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Shout out
On
to
behalf
Plum Boys.
of Fort Worth Roots and the entire Psychedelic Panther Festival,
Suck
we
balls.
yeah. Thank you for joining us for this leg of the Psychedelic Panther 2023 coverage. There are more of these. We're going to release them in order so that you can kind of pick through and see each one of the guests that we sat down with without it being too confusing. Last year, we just put out one big episode. It was way too long, and you didn't really know who was talking, even though it was in the show notes. But there was just too many people. So we broke it up in segments. This is one part, and there are many other parts. Flying by the seat of my pants here, I'm not even sure how many parts we're going to have. If you missed Psychedelic Panther this year, don't worry. Joe Guzman is planning on putting on another one, and we will keep you posted. Psychedelic Panther has its own social media pages, but you can also go to the Fort Worth Roots social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We do have a Twitter account, but there's not much on that thing. But just look for Fort Worth Roots, and we'll make sure that we keep you up to date with all the events that we have coming up. One event that we do have on the schedule right now is June 24th out at Pouring Glory. And you can get Pouring Glory on social media as well, just as Pouring Glory. They'll be in the show notes. They're one of our sponsors. But June 24th, we'll be out there, and we're inviting all the small business owners and all of the podcasters and any of the local DFW influencers to come out and do a recording with us. You do not have to schedule a block of time to get involved with this on June 24th. Doors are going to open at 10:30 for me. I don't think they're going to start serving beer or food until 11, but we'll sit down and start our first recording at 10:30. Fort Worth Humane Society, I believe, is going to be out there with doggos, so we're going to have that going on too. But you're invited. There's no cost to entry. Do come hungry. If you do like adult beverages, they're going to have a lot of delicious craft beers on tap that you can enjoy. So even though the event is free, I would like people to show up hungry and at least try some of these award-winning burgers or anything else off the menu, just so you get to experience that. Pouring Glory is an excellent place. So. All right, June 24th, and more details to come. Follow us on social to get updates. If you do want to schedule a block of time to make sure that you have a chance to record with us, hit me up at media@fortworthroots.com, and we will make sure that you are on the schedule. We want to make sure we get as many people, as much attention as we possibly can. And musicians, I don't know if I said that, but also musicians. It's going to be a good opportunity for me to do a lot of recordings that day with people that maybe I've been meaning to get a hold of or trying to get them on the show, and we just have not had a chance to get our schedules lined up. So it's going to be a full day of recordings. Starts at 10:30, and we're probably going to keep that thing going till 7, 8 o'clock, something, maybe 9 o'clock. Just depends on what the temperature of the party is, and if we still have people that want to do recordings. So, all right, let's get into our sponsors real quick. Woodpost Metalworks. You can go to woodpostmetalworks.com. Use offer code podcast817. Excuse me. They specialize in metal signs with or without LED backlighting, fence and gate repair or installation, light steel fabrication, industrial plasma cutting, and more. I know that's a lot, but they do it all. And we want to keep Fort Worth dollars in Fort Worth pockets. So if you need a new sign for your business, if you need something cut out of metal, if you're trying to come up with an original gift idea for a loved one, for a Christmas, birthday, anniversary present, something like that, these are the guys. Don't go online. Don't buy it from some other country. Buy it from somebody that's putting their blood, sweat, tears, and hard work right here into our community. Woodpostmetalworks.com, and make sure you use offer code podcast817 at checkout to get 10% off. Okay, next one. Halk Walker Originals, halkwalker.com. You go there to get really awesome, unique, customized gifts for your business or for your office. You need some stuff personalized? They got you covered. They offer a huge variety of unique and personalized gifts, also laser engraving to customize just about anything you can think of. It's halkwalker.com. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck. You can go to roofingsolutionsHouck.com, and their number is 817-882-6520. And just by being a listener of the Fort Worth Roots podcast, you get 50% off a roofing tune-up. That's where they go up there and they make sure that the sealant around your pipe jacks, vents, and whatnot, I'm not a roofer, are not broken up and flaking away. They'll put new sealant around those things. This is a place for water intrusion, and it can damage your roof. So you need to have this done in Texas, probably once a year. It's okay if you haven't done it every year, but that's what you should do. Also gives them a chance to hop up there and see if you've gotten hail damage or whatever. So the typical cost for something like this is $500, and at $500 it's still worth it. You want to make sure that gets done. But since you listen to the Fort Worth Roots podcast and you heard it here first, you get 50% off, and Darren and his team will do it for $250. And if they get up there and they find more damage than what the $250 covers, they will come down. They'll tell you, hey, we can't do it for that amount, so you don't owe us anything. Okay? They're not using this as a segue to bend your arm and try to charge you more. So legitimately, $250 to get the job done. And if there's more up there that they need to address, they'll help you walk through the insurance process and make sure that it gets done right. That is Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck. That's roofingsolutionsHouck.com, 817-882-6520. There was something that I was going to include there, but I think it might be illegal to say in the same breath. But if you know Darren, and if you are Darren, then congratulations on the recent thing. I don't know if I can say that along with your business, but anyway, we love you, and we're proud of you, and congratulations. Another sponsor that we're really excited about, that we're proud to have on our team here, our friends at Pouring Glory. Thanks to the owner over there at Pouring Glory, Mr. Scott. It's a good friend of mine now, and we've been working with him for a long time. Just recently, he became a sponsor of the show. You can find them at 1001 Bryan Avenue in Fort Worth, Texas. It's just off South Main Street. In between South Main Street and I-35, 1 block north of Rosedale. It's just easy to pass by because there's nothing else on that little strip right there. They're kind of on an island all by themselves. But it is in a convenient location, and it's easy to find. You plug it into your GPS, Pouring Glory. There's only one of those around. Those are my notes. Pouring Glory is a growler refilling station that serves craft beer and award-winning food with live music. Scott is making a concerted effort to make sure that there is more and more live music out there for you. And now that, it's summertime and we're not worried about as much rain or cold weather or bad weather days, the music is really starting to pick up out there. Denver Williams is out there a whole lot. There's a bunch of other incredible musicians that frequent that establishment, but just go onto their social media pages, Pouring Glory. They're heavy on Facebook and Instagram, or we also try to do a very good job of promoting them as well anytime they have an activity coming up. A thing that I really like to go to is Sunday Dog Park, or Dog Park Sunday, whatever they call it. Anyway, from 11 to 4, they close all the gates, and the doggos get to run free off the leash and just enjoy this massive patio that Scott is constantly working on, trying to make it more and more enjoyable out there for you. He's got a mister system that he set up, so you've got, it's not raining on you, but it's, cool mist coming off of these mister lines, and umbrellas on top of picnic tables all over the place, and it's a pretty kick-ass little spot. So anyway, that's every Sunday. You don't have to wait for Dog Park Sunday. It's a dog-friendly establishment. It's just, that's kind of their day to dedicate to the doggos, the fur babies. So you can bring them out there, let them socialize with other dogs, and have a blast. They got food bowls out there, water bowls. They even have these tiny little dog. I want to call it like a hammock or something. I don't know. It's weird. Very cute. Anyway, dog friendly. Go check that out. Their award-winning food is enough reason to go there, but the dog-friendly part is something I like talking about because I like dogs. But live music, great food, and a lot of excellent craft beers. Body Machine Fitness is located at 2300 West 7th Street. Oh, yeah. It's part of that shopping center just right there next to Tom Thumb and next to, what is that breakfast place? I can't remember. There's also a Buffalo Wild Wings right there, but it's in that whole thing just across from Chewy's and the park right there on 7th Street. Body Machine Fitness offers truly one-of-a-kind fitness experience. Your first class has already been paid for, so go to www.bodymachinefitness.com to schedule your first high-energy cardio strength group fitness class with best in industry trainers, cutting-edge audio and lighting system. Show up early or stay after your class for the infrared sauna, and nutrition snacks in the lobby. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. I was trying to talk too fast. Anyway, I've been going here for a little while now. I try to go twice a week. Sometimes, life, but I try to get in there twice a week. And it's excellent. And I would encourage you to see some of the videos I've been taking up there. They're on my social media. They're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. But the reason I take videos in there is because they have a really unique environment. They've got these LED lights that are hanging down kind of like icicles across the entire studio in like a grid. And whenever the music starts and when the beat changes, and anyway, it's all in sync. And after a while, once your adrenaline starts pumping and those lights are going and the music is in sync with it, you're kind of in a different plane of existence there for a minute, especially whenever the trainer is just not letting up. But it's like I said, I keep saying this, unique. It is, but you got to see it yourself. First class is paid for. And if you want to, I've got somebody that I think is going to seriously take me up on this offer, and I'm just waiting on the phone call. I will go with you to one of these classes. I've already got a membership. I love going there. I'm already there twice a week. So if you want a familiar face there or you just want to hang out, let me know, and I'll go with you to Body Machine Fitness for your paid-for class. I don't say free. It's a tacky thing that you don't say anymore. It's not free. It costs something, right? But it's been paid for. So check it out. You can go schedule this class yourself at bodymachinefitness.com. If you have any issues with that, just look them up on Google Maps or whatever you iPhone people use and give them a call. They'll walk you through the process, or maybe they'll just take your order right there over the phone. But definitely worth your time. And lots of cool videos that I have on our social media, but you can also find them as Body Machine Fitness on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook as well. And their videos are way better than mine. But anyway, McFly's Pub, 6104 LTJG Barnett Road. Such a weird address, but you can look them up also using your navigation just by typing in McFly's Pub. This is a 1980s Back to the Future themed bar with a very impressive outdoor area. I'm reading this off my notes, but I wrote these notes. It is an impressive little outdoor area. It's always kind of like everybody has like their own little area, right? They've got these picnic tables set up. They've got these high top bar tables that you can sit at, or they've got this really, really big fire pit kind of tucked off in the corner. You can sit back there with your friends. And so anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is it's a nice big open area. So everybody's like together, but there's also like these little pockets where you can kind of sit off and have your own private little conversation. It's also another dog friendly place. It's located over here by the JRB NAS Carswell, NASJRB Carswell, the military base in Fort Worth, where all the jets fly out of. They're on the east side, off of Meandering. If you know the area, it's the east gate coming out of the base. They're located on Meandering. See, why doesn't it say Meandering? It calls it something totally different. Anyway, it's awesome. Claudia Wells from Back to the Future, she played Marty McFly's girlfriend. She was there the other day, signing autographs, shaking babies and kissing hands, that whole thing. But they're always doing something out there. They have a singer-songwriter night with Tommy Luke and Dippy Dog, his little dog, his cute little furry animal. That's every week, most of the time. I think every once in a while there's something comes up, but Tommy Luke is excellent. There's a lot of Fort Worth legends that go out there to play and song swap, do all that good stuff. So, and then one of our bartenders is a musician as well, so sometimes we can get him up there to play some tunes, and he's got some very original material. That's how I'll put it. You want to know more? You're gonna have to come check it out yourself. Anyway, that's McFly's Pub. Okay, did we talk about everybody? We talked about McFly's, we talked about Body Machine Fitness, talked about Pouring Glory, Woodpost Metalworks, Hauk Walker Originals, Roofing Solutions by Darren Hauk. And that's it. That's all the sponsors. And this week's going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to try to put all these episodes out tonight. This little outro, I don't usually do this. If you've been listening to the Fort Worth Ridge podcast for any length of time, the end credits and the intro are always different because I record them independently for every single episode. I'm not doing that for Psychedelic Panther. So these are all the same. I waited till the very end to tell you that. Yeah, I should have told you up front. I'm sorry. There was no trickery intended there. It's just kind of how it panned out. Anyway, hope you're enjoying these. If you have any input or you'd like to give us a call or whatever's, do it. Where's the daggum phone number? I forget the phone number all the time. Got it. Phone number for voicemails is 817-988-1292. You can call and you can leave me a voicemail, and I will play it on our next episode. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going into the phone, trying to figure out how to find my voicemails. I never use this phone. Okay, that's everything. Again, if you would like to be part of our June 24th event out at Pouring Glory starting at 10:30 a.m. To record and talk about either your music, your art, your creations that you bring to live events, your business, your podcast, or your social media endeavors, your YouTube channel, whatever. We're opening up the floor for everybody on June 24th. So you can email me if you want to lock down a time to record. It's media@fortworthroots.com. And you can also call us. This is for the listeners or anybody else out there that's trying to get a hold of the Fort Worth Roots podcast. You can text us too on this number. But if you would like your voicemail played on our next recording, the number is 817-988-1292. That is not a good number to reach me on. So if you're trying to get a hold of me, you should try me on social media or by the email, because I've always got the other phone, my personal phone, in my pocket, which I will not give you that number. I don't need those kind of shenanigans. But 817-988-1292 is good for leaving messages or whatever. There you go. Okie dokie. That is enough talking out of me. Thank y'all so much for being here. I'm going to get the rest of these episodes out to you, so it's back to work.